The Delaware County Bar Association has a grossly misleading judicial candidate rating system. Members of the Bar Association and judicial campaigns misrepresent that they rate the legal ability, knowledge, and experience of candidates. But in fact, the rating system is more like a high school popularity contest rather than a candidate rating system. Any high-quality judges in the Delaware County courthouse is merely coincidental, not a result of the Bar Association rating process. The Delaware County Bar Association should reform its judicial candidate rating system because it is partisan, misleading, and unfair. There's a much better, transparent system right next door in Philadelphia County, but the Delco Bar refuses to adopt it because of partisan politics, power, and greed. Welcome to Delaware County Political News. This is Larry DeMarco, your host. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's time. Click the red button and the bell beside it and enjoy. In this episode, we take a look at an antiquated, partisan, and misleading judicial candidate rating system of the Delaware County Bar Association that needs to be reformed immediately. Its policy is to give candidates one of three ratings, which it claims reflects upon the candidate's qualifications as a judicial candidate, but each candidate is rated only upon information provided by that candidate. This policy can be found on the Delaware County Bar Association website. And basically, what the text says is that candidates can receive one of four ratings: well qualified, qualified, not recommended, or no opinion. The Judicial Rating Committee sends out ballots for all members to vote, and the committee records the results of the election but doesn't get its own opinion. All the votes are recorded and then published by the committee. A huge problem with this system is that only a bare minimum of information is gathered, and none of the questions have anything to do with the candidate's professional qualifications, legal, or judicial ability. Take a look. These first 5 questions just deal with personal identification only. The next set of questions identify the type of practice and bar participation. Again, nothing regarding qualifications. The next group of questions deals with community involvement, and that is the total questions asked of the candidates. The questionnaire doesn't ask any information about legal knowledge, ability, trial experience, judicial temperament, application of the law, or any other law-related skill. In the 2015 judicial election, the process was publicly criticized. Since that time, all Democratic judicial candidates have refused to participate in the bar rating system, calling it a partisan and misleading poll. Democratic candidates have called for a nonpartisan commission where they can be independently evaluated, and now Democratic candidates routinely criticize the Bar Association's rating system process as a partisan endorsement by the Republican Bar Association because mostly all the members are Republican. Former Republican Chair Andy Riley argued that the Democrats don't participate because they don't have longevity in the Bar Association. Former Democratic Chairman David Landau pointed out abuses in this system, including that Republican judicial campaigns actually ask fellow Bar Association members to vote for them. This is evidence that the process is not about any type of ability, but campaigning for the popular vote. In response to the criticism, the Bar Association responded that we run the judicial rating system in a fair, impartial manner, of course saying nothing about the people doing the voting themselves. In judicial elections moving forward, Democratic Chairman Landau has urged his party not to participate in the process. Let's look at how the Republican Party abuses this process and campaigns for the popular vote. Here are 2 letters sent by popular judicial campaigns in consecutive years. They'll show that campaigning for votes in a candidate rating procedure is an accepted and established custom in Delaware County. These letters are sent to the entire Bar Association to ensure the highest rating. Republican candidates don't just campaign for high ratings by email. A future chair of the Judicial Selection and Retention Committee went on YouTube to campaign for a well-qualified vote for his former colleague.
I would hope that you would find Mike well qualified when you receive your plebiscite from the Delaware County Bar Association.
The Republican campaigns attempt to influence the voting because then they use the rating as a part of their marketing campaign, both through signs and videos.
As the only candidates to have received the rating of well qualified from the Delaware County Bar Association, these candidates will be the right judges.
This misleading advertising campaign's not done in a vacuum. At the same time high ratings are requested, there's political pressure and the flexing of financial muscle. Here's 2 samples of the annual letter, which shows that over 160 lawyers are supporting the Republican judicial ticket. These go out the same month of the candidate judicial rating letters. Each individual on that list promises to attend fundraisers or donate a requested amount, at least $200 per event. According to Republican insiders, 2 years ago, the minimum that a judicial candidate must raise to be able to run on the Republican Party ticket was $125,000, and the party's committees could raise at least $1 million to cover advertising expenses. The money is raised in significant part by local attorneys who practice in media Delaware County. As a Delaware County attorney, how would you feel appearing before a judge against an opposing attorney that gave hundreds or thousands without you having donated to the same judicial campaign? And if you donate or commit to donate, would you be more likely to rate that judicial candidate not recommended right after you committed to giving anywhere from $200 to $1,000 to his campaign? Or would you rate him or her well qualified to protect your investment? To repeat, this rating system is about partisan politics and popularity, very little about judicial or legal ability of the candidate. There is a better, more effective rating system in Philadelphia County, the same court where most of the same lawyers also appear, but the Delaware County Bar Association deliberately chooses not to adopt it or anything similar.
So it's a 30-member commission by appointment. And the appointments come from a wide array of organizations. We have an appointment from the U.S. Attorney's Office, an appointment from the District Attorney, the Public Defender is on our commission, the City Solicitor, the President Judge of the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas. We have appointments from all sorts of the minority bar associations, the people involved with family law, with criminal law, with civil law. And we also have non-lawyers on the commission who are chosen from the community to have a real and substantial voice in what elements go into evaluating the competency of someone to sit as a judge.
This is a 10-factor system. Give us some of these factors.
Sure. It's legal ability, trial and related experience, character and integrity, financial responsibility, temperament, judicial temperament, mental and physical capacity, community involvement, administrative ability, devotion to the improvement of the justice system, and sound judgment in their professional life. Our entire process is transparent. We have our guidelines set out, our factors, as well as the names of the members of the commission at our website. We will not allow the political process to impact our independent decision making.
How do you make your final determination?
Sure. So the process begins by the candidate having to fill out a very comprehensive 20-page or so application, asking everything from their biographical background to their financial background. They have to sign releases for us to be able to get their disciplinary history from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, to do criminal background checks, financial checks. They have to give us access to all this information. We then take that information and we have teams of 5 investigative members. They're diverse teams. Every team made up of 5 has a non-lawyer on it. We try and create the most diverse environment we can, regardless of the candidate. The candidate then is interviewed, usually for 1 to 2 hours. We insist on meeting them at their office. We get a list of references from them. And then each team is to interview a minimum of 20 people. And what I think is really important is that no more than 10, and it's usually less than 10, can be people who were recommended that we interview by the candidate. Most of the people we interview are people we find on our own who were not given to us by the candidate, because typically people who the candidate give us are going to say good things about them. So it's a fairly intensive process. Then the candidate comes before the commission and we interview the candidate and we ask them follow-up questions based on things that came up during our investigations. And we put some tough questions to them and they respond, we deliberate, and then we issue our recommendation. Anybody who serves not just on the commission, but anybody who also serves as an investigator is prohibited from participating in any judicial campaigns. That means they cannot campaign for anyone, they can't serve as an advisor, or equally as important, they are not permitted to make any financial commitment, donation to any campaign whatsoever. That is prohibited.
So let's compare and contrast the Delaware County Bar Association's judicial candidate rating procedure to the Philadelphia Bar Association's. First, the Delaware County Bar Association will permit 160 campaign committee members who participate on a judge's campaign to rate their own judge. But the Philadelphia Bar excludes any attorney who has any type of conflict of interest. Second, Delaware County has no guidelines concerning their process, but Philadelphia has strict guidelines. 3, Delaware County has no criteria in the questionnaire asking about the candidate's legal ability, whereas in Philadelphia, it's important to the Philadelphia Bar. 4th, Delaware County has a 1-page questionnaire, and Philadelphia has a 20 to 30-page questionnaire. 5th, Delaware County excludes non-lawyers or outsiders, but Philadelphia includes non-attorneys and allows people from the general public. 6th, the Delco Bar Association excludes an interview process and investigation, and Philadelphia includes both and is a critical part of the process. 7th, Delaware County only has one political party even participating in the process at all, whereas Philadelphia has all parties participating. Back in 2011, the Delaware County Bar Association registration was 87% Republican, and little's changed since then. So when you see Republican judicial campaigns advertising that their candidate is well qualified by the Delaware Bar Association and the only judicial candidate given that well qualified rating, remember that it reflects voting by their own political party and 160 members of their own campaign finance committee. In summary, the Delaware County Bar Association Judicial Rating Committee doesn't rate judges. It's a partisan popularity contest reflecting campaigning, requests for votes, power politics, and money. Most of the attorneys who are part of the Delaware County Bar Association are Republican because there's never been a Democrat elected and judge in Delaware County. After Republican judicial campaigns receive their well-qualified votes, they misrepresent to the public that their candidates have been rated well-qualified in ability, when in fact, no merit rating has taken place. This is wrong, and it should be reformed and stopped. But the Bar Association has no intention of changing its policy. If you want to be a vehicle of change, you can write the Bar Association and express your opinion. Here's the address where you can write. But don't do nothing. If you do nothing, I caution you. How would you feel if you were a litigant and you came against one of these lawyers who are on the judge's campaign finance committee and gave anywhere from $200 to $1,000 to that judge and rated that judge well qualified? Would you feel like you had a fair chance? Thanks for watching. Participate in judicial campaign reform by sharing this video. Click the like button and leave a comment to start a discussion. Signing off. Tune in next time. Bye for now.